Hello everyone, and welcome to a game that I tried recording earlier, then Steam decided to die on me, and everything went wrong in the middle of important dialogue. Anyways, let's play this point. Welcome to a game called Syberia. This game... I love this game. This game is very... don't know what the word is. It's very important to my heart, and I love it. And it has a great story, and I just love it so much. I can't do anything about this little... like, I don't know if you're gonna see it when I actually post the video. I don't know if I can edit it out. No, because I can crop it. Crop stuff in editing. But when you play the game, because it's from 2002, the game, you can't change the resolution or anything. Excuse me, or like screen size, so it's not widescreen, it's literally like this little box. Which is fine, because it adds to the charm. So I'm gonna stop talking, we're gonna hit new game, and we're gonna start this shit, because I love it so much. It's so freezing! Fucking cold right now. I have my heater on, but it doesn't reach over here. Valadiland. French Alps. Was like a movie. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. So yeah, I tried recording this earlier and then Steam literally fucked up and I couldn't... it ended up... I had to restart, which was... it's so awful. Welcome to Valadiland. Let yourself be transported... sorry, the world capital of mechanical toys. Let yourself be transported by the magnificent landscape surrounding Valadiland, a small charming town tucked away in the Alps, and by Vorarlberg Manufacturing, whose exceptional savoir-faire in the specialized world of luxury mechanical toys and automatons is at the root of Valadiland's reputation around the world. For 800 years, the Vorarlberg family has passed its knowledge from generation to generation, perfecting the art of that particular branch of clockmaking that breathes life into the complex network of cogs and spindles that make up automatons. Its creative wonders once defied belief and drew admiration of young and old alike. People would come from across Europe for a chance to view for the rate to own one of these fantastic toys. At the heart of a mechanical automaton is its motor. A series of spindles are set in motion to music via a set of cogs. Attached to the spindles are cams that are shaped in the image of music. In turn, they command a series of rods which control the gestures of the toy at their tips. Automaton construction takes place in 3 stages: modeling, mechanics, and casing. The process requires the participation of 20 different specialized trades. In its heyday, the Vorarlberg factory employed over 100 craftsmen, mechanics, watchmakers, sculptors, tailors, and dressmakers, working in separate workshops. Vorarlberg automatons all have 2 distinguishing features in common: their high-precision mechanisms and the characteristic of Vorarlberg wind-up key. Devising and assembling each model is a meticulous process. Standard toys are constructed from the local wood, while most sophisticated ones use more precious resources such as ebony imported from Madagascar. Despite competition from Asia, the Vorarlbergs never gave in to the temptation to produce electrical robots and chose to continue the exploration of the mysteries of perpetual mechanical motion. The Vorarlbergs have come a long way from their simple jointed puppets of yesteryear. Today their creations are so lifelike one has the impression that they can think for themselves. first signs of puppet manufacture in Valladolid go back to the 13th century. While there was maybe no definitive puppet industry at the time, Hermann Vorarlberg's sorry, it's just a lot of reading. Renown was recognized even in the court of the emperor. I also love the page-turning sound. It was not until the 17th century that Charles Vorarlberg founded the Vorarlberg Mechanical Toy and Puppet Factory, and industrial activity in the valley really took off. The reputation of Valladolid and its famous toys then just kept growing and growing. The turn of the 20th century was Valladolid's golden age as expressed in the factory's impressive architecture and the main houses of the town. The Vorarlberg reputation crossed the oceans, dispatching its fine precision mechanisms across the globe till delighted buyers who began to believe that Vorarlberg automatons had a life of their own. That is the second time they've mentioned a life of their own, or these things being alive. Since the end of the Second World War, the destiny of the factory has been in the hands of Rudolf's daughter, Anna Vorarlberg, the last and sole descendant of the prestigious line of craftsmen. This inspiring figure negotiated the business through the end of the war. She breathed new life into production by creating works of art to appeal to experts and enthusiasts alike. Vorarlberg automatons became rare collector's items with highly innovative mechanisms of unequaled ingeniousness even to this day. Holy shit, that's a lot of reading.
Hi there. Hey, hi there. What are you doing? Can I see?
No, too difficult. Momo's work very difficult.
Momo, you're so cute.
So, your name's Momo. I'm Kate.
Momo do like Hans. He draw.
Hans?
Don't disturb Momo. Momo work difficult.
Will you show me your drawing?
No, not finished. Go away.
Momo's me.
I guess I'll let you continue working.
Can I see what you're drawing? Fuck off. No. Alright, let's get the show on the road. And I like the inventory too, because it's like you have dialogue notebook, you have a cell phone, you have personal file, which is the stuff like brochures and stuff you pick up. This is so cute, I love it. Ding! Ding! Ding!
Okay, I'm coming.
Hello, sir. My name is Kate.
Hi there.
Hello there, ma'am.
My name
I
is
would
Kate.
like a room. My company should have made a reservation in the name of Walker. The company is Marson and Lormont Associates. The name is Kate Walker.
Of course, Miss Walker. You are in room 6 on the next floor up.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I would like to see my room now.
As you like, miss.
Thanks. Let me go get my shit.
I really don't have the strength to take this suitcase any further. I wonder who can help me.
Hi, my name's Kate Walker, and I'm a lazy bitch.
Hi there.
Hello there, ma'am.
So can you help me?
Could you possibly take my luggage up, please?
Please do excuse me, Miss Walker. We have been neglecting our duties. Guests are so rare these days that we forget our manners. So you're the American woman? Is it true what people say, that you've come to buy the factory?
Not factory. Anna's house. Hans' house.
Excuse me?
Would you quiet down, you mischievous little boy? I imagine our little town must disappoint you. You see, today is very sad for us. It's a day of mourning. Today is the funeral of Miss Anna.
Momo sad, but Hans not dead. Hans long way away. Anna told Momo. Anna liked Momo very much.
That's enough, Momo. Stop pestering the lady. Now go on, scram. Get out of here, you hear? What was I saying? Oh, yes, Miss Anna. Such a great loss for Valadilene, it really is. Because now that she's dead, the factory'll close. But you're here to stop that happening, aren't you? Our future is in your hands, Miss Walker.
What? Anna Vorarlberg is dead?
Yeah, that's what he just said, Kate. Like, I love Kate's character so much, but she's kind of a bitch, but she also is a lawyer, so, like, I ain't got nothing against lawyers, but, let me tell you. Also, that
Here's your
walk.
room. I hope you like it, Miss Walker.
I hope you like it. Okay, well, what if I don't like it? Oh, it's cute, though. What if I don't like it?
I'll
It's
leave you
actually
to
kinda cute.
rest for the time being. You must have a lot of work to do. You know, the takeover of the factory is very good news for us here. It would make us very happy to see life return to our valley.
Life.
If only you had seen Valadilene before. It was delightful. People came from all over the world to buy Vorarlberg automatons. Ah, somebody has left you some mail, I see. Remember, if you need anything at all, we're not far away, Miss Walker.
Am I recording? I forgot. Yes. Okay, good. Shit. Low-key fucked up on that. Alright, sorry. There's a weird cut because I had to check and see if I was actually recording because I'm stupid. Anyways, we have a letter here. Gimme. Dear Kate, our client, the Universal Toy Company, is more than eager to see conclusions from the talks with Vorarlberg Manufacturing with view to a takeover in the days to come, and we have received notification to this effect. We are counting on your undoubted qualities as a business lawyer to bring negotiations with Madame Vorarlberg, Anna Vorarlberg, the current owner, to a close. Allow me to remind you that the Universal Toy Company is a multinational which has a monopoly on the toy market. It is a Class A priority client who is also presenting Madame Vorarlberg with a golden opportunity to sell her factory. You should remind her of this fact in case she starts having last-minute second thoughts before signing the purchase agreement. I am under no doubt that you will live up to the great expectations I have in you, Edward Marson.
I should tell Marson about the death of Miss Vorarlberg. I hope this isn't going to get too complicated. I can't see myself staying here too long.
I can't either. Just kidding. Cell phone. The office. Hang on. Mom. Olivia. Dan. Great numbers to have in your crap speed dial.
Martin and Lormont, how can I help you?
Can you put me through to Mr. Marson, please? It's Kate Walker.
Hold the line, please.
Hello, Kate. So tell me, how's the case going?
It's going shit.
I've just got to Valadilene, and there's a slight problem, Mr. Marson, I'm afraid. Mrs. Vorarlberg is dead.
Ah, that's most unfortunate. But I seem to remember we made provisions for just such a sad eventuality, and we know that there was no heir.
Yes, that's right, but...
So where's the problem, Kate? Contact the notary right away. I'll get my secretary to fax you his address and an introduction letter from the firm.
Very good, Mr. Marson.
Right, I gotta go, Kate. Keep me up to date, okay?
I just...
Wow, what a dick. But then again, working as a business lawyer, I assume you would have a kind of a tough boss. Also, I might have to add another book under my camera because I feel like my webcam is not high enough, and I feel like my head's getting cut off because I like sitting. I like sitting up. I don't like slouching too much, but I'm gonna slouch a little bit for this gameplay. And then I might. Actually, I'm gonna go grab a book right now and then see how that. Actually, no, because then I have to exit out of the game again, and I don't want to deal with it. Actually, no, wait. I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna actually try and get a book and see how this goes. Okay, we're back, and I have the camera a little bit higher.
I'm back again.
Miss Walker?
I'm back again, my dude.
A fax didn't arrive for me, did it?
Maybe. I thought I heard the phone ring.
Do you think you might want to go and check?
Certainly, ma'am. Immediately.
Thank you very much.
Do you want to go check it? As in, are you gonna check it? As in, I need it. Thank you. I love his little mustache, though. As you're no doubt aware, Practice is charged with undertaking negotiations for the takeover of the Vorarlberg manufacturing by a client, the Universal Toy Company. It is with great sadness that we learn of the recent death of the manager and owner of the factory. I have something in my eye. Madame Vorarlberg, with whom negotiations had started. We are under no doubt that Madame Vorarlberg left you instructions before her death, enabling the sale to be concluded. We should remind you of the significant boost the arrival of the American multinational would bring to the economy of your region. It is for this reason that I am sure you will give our representative, Miss Kate Walker, a warm welcome.
Thank you.
At your service.
And, okay, I'm gonna leave.
I'm gonna go look around Valadilen. See you later.
As you like, miss.
Actually, I haven't asked him about all the
I'm
people.
back again.
Miss
I
Walker?
don't even know this guy's name, actually. Hans.
The young boy who was here earlier talked about, Hans. Who is Hans?
Momo was talking about Hans Vorarlberg, Anna's younger brother. But he died a long time ago. Nobody here even met him.
Momo.
Who is the boy who was drawing here earlier? Is he your son?
Heaven forbid. No, not at all. He's not a bad boy, no. Momo is just a little simple, that's all.
What is his connection with Anna Vorarlberg?
Momo is what you'd call the village idiot, and Anna took him under her wing. He must have reminded her of her younger brother, no doubt. And birds of a feather stick together, don't they?
You're implying that Anna Vorarlberg was a little bit slow as well?
Heaven forbid. No, not at all. She was a real loner. She kept to herself, that's all.
That was not even what was implied, Kate. You need to calm down.
I just love all these little mechanical robots. I've noticed there are tons of them here in Valadilen.
Be careful what you say. Vorarlberg automatons are not robots. If you want people to like you here, never ever pronounce the word robot.
Okay. What is the difference between an automaton and a robot, then?
Well, to tell you the truth, no one really knows.
Least helpful information. Nobody really knows.
Did you know Anna Vorarlberg yourself?
Oh, why, of course I did. I mean, well, not really. She was a very great lady. We loved her very much. May she rest in peace.
You literally
I'm gonna go look around Valadilen. See you later.
As you like, miss.
The thing is, too, with this game, you can't skip dialogue options. Like, in most games now, you can skip... What are these? Are these, like, little plates? Oh, they're little cogs. What the fuck do I have in my... I have so many things in my eyes right now. You can't skip dialogue options in this game. Like, it does not give you that option. So any dialogue, like, you have to listen through. If you misclick something, you have to listen to the same dialogue option again. But it's... Oh, that music. Yes. But it's really interesting in that way that you're forced to sit and listen to the story. Which I don't mind. I don't mind the story. Like, I love the story, which is why... I like it, but it's just, like, very long dialogue options, which is why, too, like, I'm gonna, because you could have the same dialogue options, but people will say different things. Who are you? So, these episodes are gonna be, like, hour-long each, because there's just so much story to go through. I love it so much, though.
Good morning. Are you open? Can I buy something from your bakery?
No, afraid not. Not possible. We're closed.
I can wait a while.
You can wait, but we're closed all day. Day of mourning.
I'm sorry. Please accept my condolences.
Don't worry about it. Because of Madame Vorarlberg's death, all the shops are closed. Mayor's decision. Try tomorrow.
Tomorrow I won't be here. That's a pity.
That's a pity. Sorry. I love this little like balcony with like the flowers growing. It's so pretty. Come on, Kate. Run faster. I know you're a lawyer, but you look like you're in shape. So mean. What is this? Newspaper? Mourning the loss of the Queen of our hearts. Let us pay homage today to Anne Vorarlberg, who died peacefully yesterday at the age of 86. The great lady devoted her life to her business and our community. This formidable woman had an extraordinary energy, a force that allowed our automaton technology to develop. To allow our automaton technology to develop and to make our valley continually proud. Her vitality was matched by her generosity and goodness, which has marked all Valleyland's inhabitants. The mayor of our town has declared that today would be a day of collective mourning in honor of Madame Vorarlberg. The funeral will take place this morning at 10 a.m. in the parish church officiated by the town's own priest. Marks the end of an era. Outstanding woman, presided over Vorarlberg manufacturing more than 50 years. This seems to bring further loss in its wake, sounding the death knoll of our automaton factory, the economic heart of our town. It's impossible to view her passing without concern for the future of our valley. In the last decade, computers, video games, and electronic robots have become prominent in our consumer society, rendering traditional clockwork mechanisms obsolete. The age of the wind-up toy is over. Such technology cannot compete in the modern economic climate and has fallen by the wayside. It would have been definitively consigned to oblivion if Vorarlberg manufacturing had not upheld its renowned savoir-faire, helping Valleyland to remain economically active. However, today the industry has lost its spiritual force and the future looks bleak. Maybe the time has come to celebrate the prospective American takeover of the factory, but what will be the cost to the soul of Valleyland? Who actually knows? We're gonna go up the stairs though. This is a cute little... I keep forgetting I have to hit escape to do stuff. I'm like, no, I don't want to. That goes there. I go here. And this is wild right here. Like, he just sits there and he just scoots forward and looks super nocturnal. That connects to the robot to see what the see what the paper is about. And he's all like, oh shit, and I'm like, thank you. Really unnecessary to run, but I just want to go in. My hands are really cold right now. It's really sad. I don't like it.
Hello, sir.
Miss Walker, I presume. Have you had a good journey?
Everything went very smoothly. Thank you.
Do take a seat, Miss Walker, please.
Okay. Like, what are you gonna do?
I imagine you are aware of the business that brings me here.
Of course. I was waiting for you.
I kind of want to... Can we talk about ourselves?
I am the legal representative for the Universal Toy Company. I'm responsible for...
So I understood, Miss Walker.
Don't cut me off. It's rude. Can we answer
Have you ever met Hans Vorarlberg, Anna's brother?
I have a few vague memories of him, that is all. I was very young at the time. Very young. If you don't mind, can we come back to that later?
I'm gonna still ask you all these questions because fuck you.
At the tavern, I met a young boy by the name of Momo. I was informed that he is mentally disabled. Whatever his condition, he told me about a man called Hans. He's apparently Madame Vorarlberg's brother. Moreover, it appears that Hans is not actually dead. What do you think of that?
Let us take one thing at a time, Miss Walker. You will receive all the information you need in due course, you can be sure of that.
Are you just not going to tell me shit? Because I have to get... Okay, well, apparently you're not going to tell me anything, so let's just get on with
Miss
it.
Walker, I am afraid that the sale of the Vorarlberg factory is not as straightforward as it first seemed.
Whoa there.
Whoa.
Everything was agreed. We'd obtained Anna Vorarlberg's consent, and her death does absolutely nothing to invalidate that. Now, I have to be back in New York the day after tomorrow, Metro Alphoter. My client and I are impatient to seal this deal.
I understand only too well, Miss Walker. There is an heir, Miss Walker.
Excuse me, an heir? But Madame Vorarlberg never married, as far as I know, and in my last conversation with her, she absolutely never mentioned this detail.
Miss Walker, believe me, I was more surprised than you are. Anna Vorarlberg sent me a letter 2 days before she died. Understand, Miss Walker, that had I known about this earlier, I would have informed you. I shall read you the document in my possession. I am so very old. It seems that today life is slipping away from me more quickly than I imagined, and I fear that I will not be of this world to sign the takeover contract for my dear factory. So I must make this confession to you now. My brother Hans is still alive. It would not surprise me if you find this difficult to believe, but it is indeed the truth. You must remember his death, his funeral too. Even though you were very young at the time, it was but a sordid charade dreamt up by our father. To him, the very idea that his only son should wish to leave Baladilen and abandon the family business was unbearable. When Hans left, he preferred to think him dead and make everybody else believe this too. He obliged me to bear this terrible secret as well. I repeat that Hans is still alive, so when I die, it is he who becomes the sole and rightful heir of our factory.
Okay, I see. If Hans Vorarlberg is not dead after all, then I just have to sign the contracts with him. I suppose you've already contacted him? Where can I reach him?
The second half of the letter informs us that Hans Vorarlberg is somewhere in Syberia. I will leave the document in your hands to read at your leisure.
He's in Syberia. Jesus Christ, it's a little far from France, don't you think? Where did he end up? So when I die, I think that he is still alive, so when I die, it is he who becomes the sole and rightful heir of our factory. I have never had the chance to see my dear brother again. Fortunately, though, Hans and I have remained very close in thought. Throughout the years, I have been able to follow his meandering life as he sporadically sent me news. On occasions, he would write me letters, but they were rare, as my brother, since his unfortunate accident, has maintained a phobia for the written word. However, he has sent me several plans of automatons that I eagerly have made up at the factory, and I will admit that they have largely contributed to the success of the Vorarlberg creations. Hans has always had a marvelous gift of breathing life into objects through clever combinations of cogwheels and springs. My little brother is a genius in the true sense of the word. Let us return to the matter in hand. Rest assured of my personal conviction that my brother will not object in the slightest to the sale of the factory. If I have already passed away when you come to read this letter, it is to him that the matter should be addressed. I received his last letter 6 months ago, posted from the north of Syberia. I regret to say that I have received no more recent news. I am aware of the difficult situation in which my confession and lack of further details leave you, but I wish to die with a clear conscience. I would be grateful, dear Matra Alfalter, if you could inform the American law firm with whom I have been dealing of these developments. I have grown so old, so tired. With all my respect and final greetings, Anna Vorarlberg.
Anna Vorarlberg had no further information to add?
Unfortunately not, Miss Walker. I have told you as much as I know. The situation, in legal terms, is now clear. If you want to conclude this sale, you have to find Hans Vorarlberg. Apparently, there is a body lying in the town cemetery. There also seems to be some ghost wandering around Syberia. It seems you have your work cut out for you. Believe me, Miss Walker, when I say that I am most sorry for this regrettable setback. Most sorry.
Great. What now, then?
Perhaps you will find out more in the Vorarlberg factory archives. You will find the key in the waiting room. My role in this affair finishes here with the reading of this letter. And now, if you'll excuse me, I must rest. You see, my health is not excellent at the moment, and my doctor forbids me from working for too long. I will not detain you for any longer, Miss Walker. Do not forget to close the door as you go out.
Goodbye, sir.
Great. So, buddy, stop with the hand gestures. I can't. Okay, so Hans is alive. Anna's dead. He's in Syberia somewhere. I have to go hunt him down to finalize a sale of a factory. This is so much for a lawyer. Like, I mean, who, buddy? Okay, I have the key now, so I'm gonna leave. Okay, so I have to go to the factory. What's this way, though? I have to go to the factory and basically look through everything and find out what's happening. What's happening, because she's dead now, and this really puts a little bit of a dent in this whole agreement thing. Or negotiation, I should say. Sounds like it's locked. Yep, apparently it's locked. No comment on it, though. Okay, so the factory must be up this way, I think. So much distance. That's so, like, that's really sad, though, that it's, so, I guess, so the father was ashamed of the son ran away, and the father faked his, hello, interrupting my conversation.
Hello?
Kate?
Dan, I'm so pleased to hear your voice.
How are you, honey? Did you have a good journey? Have you settled in?
It was long, tiring, damp especially, but I'm okay. Especially when you...
Everything going as planned?
Yeah, I mean, well, not really. It's not exactly what I thought it would be. You know, everything's so different here.
Actually, while we're on the subject, I managed to free myself up tomorrow lunchtime. I'll come and meet you at the airport. I hope the flight from Paris won't be delayed. We're expected at the Goldbergs about 8 o'clock. I hope you have the time to take a shower and change, my poor honey bun.
Dan, I don't think the Goldbergs tomorrow night is really on.
Don't worry, Kate. You'll be as perfect as ever. Anyway, you never have to wear much to look really great.
Dan, I'm going to have to extend my stay here. There's 1 or 2 complications. You understand?
Kate, honey, what are you talking about? It's only a measly toy factory.
The sale isn't going through as expected. I've got to stay a bit longer. Dan, you don't mind, do you?
But Katie, you can't do this to me. I mean, it's the Goldberg contract. There's millions of dollars on the line here.
I know, I'm sorry. You go ahead. Don't worry about me. I'll get back as soon as I can, I promise. Okay, I've got to go. I'll call you back soon. Love you, honey.
Aww. Sorry, that's just really cute. And I'm so single and it sucks. But also, he's kind of a dick. I have to stay here out of my own control. But it's the Goldbergs contract. Dan, does it look like I give a shit? Like, buddy. Also, my poor honey bun is, like, just my all-time favorite thing. Oh, sorry. I hope you have enough time to shower and change, my poor honey bun. But also just like, you don't have to wear much to look really great. Like, I need that side of Dan in my life. Like, it's the type of support I need. What the fuck? Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, catch a tight, but I picked this one. We're just gonna go around counterclockwise. I apparently picked the right way. Damn, this is a big house. Can I just walk in the front door? Are you gonna let me? I have a fuzzy in my mouth now.
The door's locked, but I've still got to get in there.
We're gonna break into a mansion. because that's what we do. Yeah. Because that's what Kate Walker does. Kate Walker? Sorry, I just love that fact that her name's Kate Walker. I don't know why. Kate Walker? That fucking tuba keeps getting to me. Do I need a key?
I need a key.
Thank you for telling me the way it is, Kate. That that statue totally isn't creepy over there. It's fine. Hello?
Good morning. You've got a magnificent garden here.
What?
Oh, please don't talk about it. Since my gardener automaton broke down, there are weeds everywhere. You can't imagine how much work it takes me. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. We're not used to doing without our robot help here in Veladiland. But everybody says that we're going to have to get used to it.
That's all you had to say was just complain at me. Shit, her voice though. I don't know. Oh, that's not creepy at all. And there's nothing here, so that's just weird significance that I don't understand. Ah, but the weeds everywhere. Like, oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. Key. Mine. Just rapid clicking constantly. Oh. Kate, walk faster. I'm so impatient. Sorry. Okay,
No point. It's locked.
I really wish I could go through the maze. Like, can you imagine just, like, having to go through the maze to find, like, one thing? Oh. I don't even care at this point about my hair. I'm really just, like, trying to live my good life here. Kind of difficult, but living my good life. Okay, so I can use the little stair thingy. I don't know what you'd call it. It's not a stair thingy. I'm just dumb. There's like one. Are we really gonna? This is so complicated. Like, gimme. And this is normal. No one. There's no concern about this whatsoever. Oh, that's like a metal roof. Can you imagine that rust feeling? I hate feeling of rust, which sounds really stupid. A button and a diary. Oh no. Whew, a lot of reading. Okay, May 14th, 1930. Yesterday something terrible happened. I do not know who to turn to, who to talk to, so I have decided to write it down. You, dear diary, are now my confidant and sole guardian of my secret thoughts. Hans lies in the next room, teetering between life and death, and I'm terrified. Oh, the injustice of life. First Mama, then Hans. Please, dear Lord, don't take my little brother away as well. And that looks like a picture of Hans. May 15th, 1930. Hans made me promise to keep this a secret, but its burden is too heavy. I know I can tell you, though, dear diary. We've discovered a cave in the mountains, a marvelous cavern with ancient paintings on the walls. Only prehistoric man could have painted them because they were depictions of mammoths, which are prehistoric creatures as well. That much I know. I hate mammoths now. It's all because of them and because of that stupid prehistoric children's toy. Why, Hans? Oh, why did you try and take it? And why did I let you climb up there? It's my fault you are in a coma now. Hans, if you die, I don't know how I could ever forgive myself. May 16th, 1930. Hans has still not regained consciousness. Father cannot sleep, and Gertrude cries all day long. Outside, the heat is suffocating, but inside, the house is icy cold and dismal. I still have hope, though. I know my brother. I know his strength. He will pull through. He never gives in. May 17th, 1930. I cannot think of anything else but Hans. In all my waking and sleeping dreams, I see his fall over and over, and I see his head hitting the rock and his oh-so-pale face softening. I have taken refuge in the attic. It is the only place where I find any peace, wrapped up in all my memories. May 18th. 5 days have passed since the accident. Hans has still not opened his eyes. To see him like this is unbearable. Please, God, protect him. Take my life, not his. May 19th. I feel so desperate, so alone. I want to snuggle up in Father's arms, but I dare not. He is just so impassive. Oh, Hans, don't leave me here. May 20th. It has happened. Hans has come back to life. So, okay, hang on. So from the 13th to the 20th, he was in a coma. So like a week. He was in a coma for a week, basically. He opened his eyes and uttered my name. My name. Do you realize this is the happiest day of my life? I want to take to the streets and sing to proclaim my joy to the world. Thank God. Oh, thank God. How wonderful, how beautiful life is. Gertrude and I cannot stop breaking into uncontrollable fits of giggles. Hans even wolfed down his meal today. I knew he was tough, my little brother. Even Father smiled at me today when he said good morning. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I'm totally absorbed in Hans's recovery. I have scarcely 5 minutes to myself to return to my refuge and scribble down these words. It is very curious. Whether Hans is hungry, thirsty, or if he wants something, he cannot stop saying my name. He can't bear it when I leave him even for an instant. Gertrude thinks that I should move my bed into his room to help him sleep better. I hope that Father will agree. Today was the first day that Hans has left the house. We went for a short walk in the garden, but Hans is still very weak. The doctor said we should be patient and shouldn't rush him. It is so hard, though. I hope so much that life can return to how it once was. Hans has been out of his coma for a month now. Oh, June 20th, God. He still doesn't say much and has difficulty moving. He sits motionless for long periods of time, his eyes wide open, as though lost in thought. I have often had to call his name several times before he reacts. Then he will smile, and when he does, the moment is magic for me, and I couldn't possibly be happier. 22nd. I had to talk to him. The burden was too great. I asked Hans about the accident in the cave to find out if he could remember. He could utter only one word, mammoth, and his eyes glowed so strangely when he said it that he frightened me. September 15th. I go back to school today, and for the first time in my life I am dreading it. I am afraid of leaving Hans alone. Despite Gertrude's kindness and attention, I have the impression that Hans is much less nervous when I am there. October 20th. While I was doing my homework yesterday evening, Hans crept up on me so quietly that he made me jump. He took a pencil and a black sheet of paper, and curiously, he started drawing. It is the first time since his accident he has done anything but daydream. 28th. Hans scribbles almost obsessively. It is all he will do all day long. I feel it annoys Father. Nobody else understands, but I can see that Hans is trying to draw mammoths. Okay, the dates are becoming more and more, like, there's more time between the dates now. November 16th, 1930. Today is my birthday, and Gertrude has made me an apple pie, my favorite. Ooh, apple pie is so good. But Father has not returned home for lunch, and Hans doesn't want to leave his room. The best present I could ever have is to see Hans back on the way to recovery. December 25th, Christmas. Snow is falling. It is so beautiful. Me on Christmas. The only thing I talk about on Christmas. January 10th. The doctor visited to examine Hans. He seems happy that my little brother has fully recovered his faculties. It truly is a miracle. I don't understand why he doesn't talk more, though. Why isn't he livelier like he was before? It is Hans' birthday today. Today he is 11 years old. I have the strangest of impressions that actually he has lost 5 years rather than gaining one more. So he got... I know it said that he fell and hit his head, so he must have got severe, obviously from a fall and hitting rocks. Like, his brain got severely damaged. So he's lost his mental a lot of his mental capacities, so he has reverted to like a child. I mean, he's already a kid, but like more so. The doctor has just left. I saw him whispering with Father. Their serious expressions worried me awfully. What could they be hiding from me? I am grown up now. At the age of 15, you can understand everything. Whew, I remember when I was 15 and I thought that. I am too scared to ask Father what happened. What is happening? March 15th, I have been thinking about it. It seems to me that Hans' attitude isn't normal. The shock of the fall and his coma must have had much more serious effects than we first imagined. Hans, my dear brother, what is happening to you? From March to April. I have discovered the truth. Hans is stunted, physically and mentally. I eavesdropped a conversation between the doctor, Father, and Gertrude. Gertrude buried her tear-filled eyes in her apron, and Father muttered the word retard under his breath. How could he say such a thing? Well, it's 1930s, so. It is Easter and we're on school holidays. This means I can spend all day with Hans and protect him from Father's permanent dark moods. He cannot accept the fact that Hans, his only son, will stay in this state forever. It is truly difficult to accept, but it is not Hans' fault. Mine maybe, but not Hans. I don't know how to make Father understand. He seems full of hatred for him. It is dreadful. I feel so powerless. 1 year. 1 year has gone by and it feels like an eternity. The situation shows no signs of improvement, neither in terms of Hans' mental health or Father's attitude towards him. Extraordinary. Whew, a lot of reading here. There's a lot of diary entries. Extraordinary. Father has decided to take Hans to Paris for new tests. He says that only in the French capital will he find truly competent doctors. We must make Hans ready for the great expedition. No news from Father and Hans, but I remain hopeful. I am sure they will take good care of my brother. They have returned. Hans rushed into my arms and started crying. It took me a long time to calm him down and get him to sleep. Father is still as taciturn as he was before he left. The French doctors have confirmed the diagnosis. Hans will remain physically and mentally impaired. I am stunned. The summer is coming to a close. It has been less stifling than the last. The sun has put color in Hans' cheek. When I look at him, I have difficulty imagining that he will not change. Father still says nothing and increasingly shuts himself away in his office at the factory. It's a lot of entries. Gertrude tells me that love and faith triumph over any science. I lack neither. God be praised. Father took Hans to the factory this morning. Hans was so afraid that I accompanied them. Fortunately, Father said nothing. I fail to understand why he insisted on bringing him there. Father left for the factory with Hans once again this morning. I think he wants to persuade Hans that he could be useful for something. It's his way of resisting fate. For a month now, every morning Hans has gone to work with Father at the factory. I'm not exactly sure what he does there, but he seems to enjoy it. I feel my brother's behavior has changed considerably. He is much less capricious. I could cry. Hans has made me a present, a small robot mammoth with a trunk that rises and falls. When Father saw it, he nodded his head in satisfaction. Both Gertrude and Father now have their own robot mammoths. Theirs are even more intricate and finely tuned. Little brother is not such a retard after all. Hans's mammoths now raise their trunks, and wag their tails. It's incredible. I met the head of the factory workshop, Mr. Grips, this morning. He says that for a young lad of 12, Hans is very gifted. It is a shame he only makes elephants. Father and Hans were locked in a long discussion yesterday, or should... Oh, shit, so 2 years have gone by. So it's another 2 years, so Hans is... Okay, 12. This is the next year. Oh, she didn't write for a long time. So she's about... 17... I want to say 17? We're locked in a long discussion, or should I say Hans was locked in one of Father's long monologues. As it is inconceivable that Hans should go to school like other children, Father wants to take him on as a worker at the factory. However, Hans will have to stop making his own little devices. Hans is silent. His half-gaping mouth and staring eyes finally sent Father off in a rage. I tried to broach the subject with Hans. I suggested he should obey Father. Learning a craft at the factory is his one chance to do something constructive with his life. He is so gifted and takes so much pleasure in making automatons. He did look like he wasn't listening to me, but I know he'll think about what I said. It's not that Hans cannot speak. It's neither that he doesn't want to speak. It's rather that he doesn't want to speak. He uses the least possible words for communication, except with me, but he is still very economical with words. Incredible. Hans was not just satisfied with learning how the assembly line works. Instead, he has completely redesigned it. Father and Monsieur Grips are taking a serious look at his plans. Father has wanted to talk to me about my future since I passed my exams. He wants to send me to university because he says my intelligence is outstanding. My heart was beating so loud. It is true I do love studying, but I cannot bear to be away from Hans. What a ghastly summer. I have been permanently torn between my desire to go to university and my refusal to leave my brother. I talked about it with Hans, but he said nothing. That same evening, I found my own little mammoth broken. Oh, Hans had another fit of hysterics at dinner again. Father announced that Hans's new assembly line would soon be finished. However, they have removed the automaton parrot that shouts orders as they were deemed soup something. Hans was livid. He hurled his soup dish to the ground and stormed off to his bedroom. What will happen between the both of them when I'm not here? Despite my scruples, I'm finally leaving. Hans has not talked to me for a week. Father would not understand if I told him why I want to stay. My heart is so heavy. See, she stopped putting this, like, the actual date and year, and just puts Christmas. It's so strange to be home. I had never left home for such a long time before. Once we were alone, Hans did not stop talking. Words just left from his mouth. How we laughed at his excitement. He presented me with a delightful little ballerina. To replace the mammoth, he told me. I was so touched that I started crying. Distance has done nothing to harm the strong bond between us. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's... 4 years. It is strange to pick up this diary once more. At first my impulse was to tear it up, but I resisted and instead succumbed to my second desire, which was to write for a while. I am alone in my attic once more. I have been home for 2 months now, and after a summer spent living with the intense joy of being reunited with my brother, Hans has returned to the factory. Father has aged so, and Gertrude's arthritis causes her terrible pain. All in all, these last 4 years have been kind to Father and Hans. Their relationship is less tense. They still do not exchange much conversation, but they now have a thing in common, the factory. I'm even beginning to feel a bit jealous. Silly, really. Hans hasn't changed. To help Gertrude, he has designed a totally automated kitchen, and Gertrude can't stop... What? Can't stop moaning at the wooden puppets. Oh, how I adore them. I went to go see Father and Hans at work. I hadn't been to the factory for ages. It is strange how much it has changed. I was very curious to see them set about their tasks. I like Father's new office very much. Hans has a small workshop on the first floor, crammed with odds and ends, unfinished robots and designs, exactly as I imagined it, in fact. Whew, the factory is working very well. Orders for toys keep coming in, spurred on by the run up to Christmas. When I was at university and I said my name was Vorarlberg, people would ask me if I had any relation to the Valideland factory. Now I know the effect that Hans' genius has had on the factory's renown. To make myself useful, I started helping Father set his papers in order. The most extraordinary thing of all is that for the first time ever, I have the impression that the three of us form a real family. Hans never ceases to surprise me. Between home and the factory, his behavior is so very different. In his workshop, he is serious, concentrated, a proper young man who keeps his eyes on everything going on, constantly on the move and in control. Once one has the impression that each single toy is his very own infant. At home, he turns back into a child once more and is either moody or a happy-go-lucky buffoon. The most wonderful Christmas of my whole life. Hans and I could not stop giggling like children beneath Father's disapproving glare. I know that he was only pretending, really. Our hearts are full of hope. Hans came to see me in my bedroom yesterday evening. I felt terribly awkward, terribly ill at ease. I might have guessed. Hans wants to leave Valideland, the house and the factory. He wants to go traveling. He doesn't know where to or for how long. That's just like him. I was so shocked that I told him his plans were foolish. He left my room without a word. His head bowed. I thought that he wanted to leave because of Father. Not at all. It's because of the mammoths. He wants to go tracking mammoths. I thought he had gotten over his obsession. I know my brother only too well. I wouldn't dream of telling him his quest is useless. It isn't worth it. He will not listen to reason. I was so selfish the other evening. I returned to talk to Hans and even asked gently if he was sure of his decision. I already know what the reply is going to be. Nothing will make him change his mind. Despite my profound sadness and despair, I must help Hans fulfill the destiny he has chosen and announce the news to Father. I fear the worst. The worst was worse. The worst was worse than my fears. Father's anger was terrifying. He shut Hans away in his workshop at the factory and has forbidden all visits except from Gertrude, who feeds him. Father has decided that Hans should remain locked up for as long as it takes him to abandon his infantile decision. Gertrude tells me that Hans is very despondent yet highly resolute. The worry is driving me mad. Okay, this is 1938 now. As soon as Gertrude returns from the factory, I hasten to get news of my little brother. He doesn't say anything, he just fiddles with bits and pieces. She replies every day with a sigh. I have tried desperately to reason with Father, but I know I am just wasting my breath. Hans is 18 years old today, and he is all on his own for his birthday. In secret, Gertrude delivered to me a small robot from Hans. It's a robot of us as children. It works with a small cylinder punched with tiny holes. I quivered with emotion as I turned the key. The message it gave was simple. He was telling me he loved me very much. Gertrude gave me a different tiny cylinder for today's toy. Hans is truly incredible. He has found a means of communication between us and us alone in total secret. My days are spent eagerly awaiting Hans's messages. He has now resolved to run away. He is preparing his escape like it was a game. Gertrude... Okay, I need to drink some fucking water so much. Gertrude has returned and she is beside herself. Hans has disappeared. Father is not even designed to return to the workshop where he locked up his son, nor find out how he managed to escape. He just gave me a black look as if he knew we were up to something behind his back. It is beginning to dawn on me that Hans is gone. I miss him so much. Lord, please protect my little brother and watch over him for me. With Hans gone, Father now locks himself away night and day at the factory. The house is so gloomy now. This morning I caught Father in the drawing room installing a coffin on the trestle. The sight of it made my blood freeze. What on earth is he up to? My questions meet only with stony silence and permanent black countenance. Behind closed curtains, the drawing room with the coffin surrounded by huge candles has become a veritable funeral chamber. This is ghastly. I have just understood what Father is up to. This morning, the priest came to pray for the coffin, and I finally caught on. Father is in mourning for the death of Hans. Father made the priest believe that his son was dead. How could he do such a thing? Oh, the last thing. In the madness occasioned by his grief, my father grows even more cold and calculating. He contacted his old friend, Dr. Schmoll, who duly drew up a bona fide death certificate without even seeing the body. I dare not imagine what yarn he spun. Hans's funeral will officially be held next Sunday. Father strictly forbade me to attend. The sordid masquerade makes me feel ill. But I cannot denounce the subterfuge, or else I will display my father's mental instability to the world. The shame would kill him, that much is certain. I have to get away, far, far away. No, I will not leave. I have thought long and hard. My life is here, next to my father. He needs me too much now. The factory needs me, because Father is incapable of running it now. Besides, I can only find peace of mind among Hans's robots. And how shall I know when he has sent me new ones if I am not at home to receive them? No, I shall not leave. My destiny is to remain here and keep watch. So that's the entire lead up to what happened with Hans. So there was basically there was an accident. It sounds like Hans was trying to reach for something. I assume it's like talking about a toy, like the mammoth toy. He was, I guess, climbing something, and he fell in the cave, and he smashed his head against a rock and ended up in a coma. And when he woke up, they found out that he has lost so much mental capacity because his brain was damaged so bad. And then they thought they were working out because the father was also remember the time period, 1930s, not a good period to have any type of thing like that. And so he oh gosh, it's a lot of reading. Sorry, I'm just whew. And so he tried to get Hans to work for him, and which was working, but then Hans was like, mammoths, I want to go see the mammoths. And usually with that kind of the way the brain operates in that way, there's always usually a single obsession, and so his was still mammoths, because especially associating with the accident. So of course he's gonna go and look for mammoths whether they are there or not. And his father was like, nah, fuck that shit, and locked up his own son. And then somehow his son escaped, and then his son's still alive, but where though, you know? Hi. Oh, Momo. Hi. Momo! Hi, baby.
Mammoth. You draw mammoths for Momo?
Ah, Momo, it's you. You scared me. What are you doing in here?
Momo want mammoth picture, like Hans' picture.
Sorry, I haven't got a picture of a mammoth with me.
Take paper and pencil and draw mammoth for Momo.
You don't give up easily, do you?
And, okay, and Momo, and because he's so close, Momo being so close to Anna is because of Hans. Anna just thought, Momo's just like Hans, and so she basically had, another little brother. That, it all makes sense.
You remember me, don't you? I'm Kate.
Draw mammoth for Momo, please.
You must find me a bit rude turning up places uninvited where nobody knows who I am. See, it's kind of my job, to get involved. But don't mind me. Just carry on with what you're doing.
Momo not mind. Anna kind. Never angry.
That's right. She won't be angry. Not now.
That's so sad. That's literally so sad.
Tell me, Momo, did you come here a lot with Anna?
Mm-hmm. Anna like Momo. Anna like Hans. Anna on journey.
Aww.
It must be fascinating to live in a village full of automatons.
Automatons made by hands. Difficult work. When Momo big, he do like Hans. Momo friend of automatons.
That's so cute.
What's going to happen to you now that Anna is gone?
Momo big now. They want Momo live at inn. Momo don't want. Momo take care of Momo.
From what I've seen, you look pretty resourceful.
So cute.
Do you know if Anna came here often with Hans?
Momo want Mama's picture. Like Hans' picture.
Okay.
Momo, I've got to go now. But see you later, maybe.
Okay, so Momo's so cute. Like, he's such a precious little bean. But there's a picture of this mammoth here, I think 1932. So this was after the accident. He wants a picture of it, and we have pencil and paper. And he wants the exact picture, so we're just gonna do some stenciling. I just love the animation. So I have a picture of a mammoth now for Momo. Because Momo wants one. There you go. There you go, my sweet precious child. Oh, it's so cute. It's so cute.
Thank you. Momo happy. Now follow Momo. Momo show his secret to Kate.
He just levitated out the window. Look at him run! Oh, okay. Oh, this is a long episode. I'm gonna stop this episode here, guys, because I need to make dinner and eat, and then I'll record more. But like, oh, I love this game. I keep hitting my green screen. I'm sorry. Oh, but Momo's so cute. I love this game so much, and like there was a lot of reading I had to do, but it gives you a background of what happened, because like obviously like, okay, this game's 2002, and even like 2018, like there's a lot of stigma around mentally disabled people, but like it was really, really bad back then, because it was like you're not it was such a lack of understanding. Obviously we have a lot more understanding, but people are still dicks about it. But back then it was like you couldn't be that way. Like obviously out of your control, but there's so many bad consequences to it. But Hans basically just ran away and is on the search for mammoths. And Anna had to live with this secret of her father basically saying he'd rather his son be dead, which is awful entirely. But she had to live with that secret until her death, which she was like 18, like about 22-ish, maybe a little old. Like she was in her 20s when he ran away. So for like 60 years or something, she had to hold on to that secret. Like that's wild. But anyways, next episode we will go see what Momo's secret is that he wants to show to Kate. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, smash that like button. And if you'd like to see more, remember to hit subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever I make. Bye.